Hello everyone, it's so nice to be with you. So today we're going to start with level 2 of the Rhythm Rainbow. And what you'll need, as you know, are some sort of rhythm sticks. You could use 2 pens like this. You could use 2 pencils. You could use 2 spoons. You could use wooden rhythm sticks if you have them, or drumsticks if you have them. I am going to use again today these kitchen roll tubes because they're very quiet. If you do this at home, you won't bother anybody. It doesn't make a lot of noise, but it's still very crisp for you to hear. So you might want to use these kitchen roll tubes. I love them. I'm going to use them. So get that ready. Then the next thing we need to do is to learn the rhythms for this lesson, for this level 2. And last level, we learned this note. Do you remember what it's called? Do you remember the nickname? Do you remember the nickname? Yes, the nickname is ta, 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 ta. And do you remember how many beats this one has? Do you remember how many beats it has? Yes, it has 1 beat, 1 beat, 1 beat, 1 beat. And what is the full name of this note? Do you remember? It might be a little harder. It's a quarter note. Quarter note, quarter note, quarter note. Fantastic. Now this was the other rhythm we learned last time for level 1. Do you remember the full name of this? Again, that could be a little harder, but can you remember? Eighth notes, eighth notes, eighth notes, eighth notes. Do you see how it has this beam across the top? It looks like 2 quarter notes with a beam across the top. And remember, if it were just one, we would cut that beam and a flag would come down, and the flag would go on the other side of that one and just fall down here. So it has 1 flag or 1 beam, and those are eighth notes. Those are eighth notes. Eighth notes, eighth notes, eighth notes, eighth notes. Do you remember what the nickname is? We used it in the whole last lesson. Do you remember the nickname? TT, good. TT, TT, TT. It sounds like TT. We have TT, ta. We have these nicknames so that they can sound the way the rhythm is. So when we play and say, we're putting it all together, and it's really good for us to remember the rhythm. So it's a good way for us to remember the rhythms. So, what is the note value of this? This is a little harder as well, but it's half a beat for each note. So half a beat plus half a beat equals 1 whole beat. Half a beat and a half a beat equals 1 whole beat. So that's the review for last time, for the rhythms we had last time. Now we have new ones for this time. And this first one is, look at the difference between the quarter note and this new one. Okay? Notice that this new one isn't filled in with color. It's empty. The note head, this is a note head. This note head is not filled in, but it has the same stem. This is called a stem. We have a note head and a stem. And the note head is not filled in like the ta. This is, the nickname for this is ta. Can you say that? Ta. Say it again. Ta. So if this nickname is ta, how many beats do you think it has? Ta. How many beats? Yes, it has 2 beats. Ta, 2 beats. So this one has 2 beats, and the nickname is ta, and the full name is half note. Okay, so it's longer. It's a half note. Half note, half note, half note. That is the full name. Now let's remember, how many beats does it have? Yes, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats. Fantastic. And what is the nickname? Can you remember? Yes, it's ta, 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 ta. Again, how many beats does it have? 2 beats. That's right, ta. Remember the quarter note, or the ta. Ta has 1 beat. Ta, 1 beat. Ta. TT is 1 beat for 2 notes. TT, TT, TT. Or if it were 1 T, it would just be T. It would be half a beat. But this is ta, and they're 2 beats. It's called a half note. Good. The next thing you need to learn is this. Now, this is a funny looking symbol. And when it's on the paper, it won't look exactly like this, but it looks like, it's basically looks like this. This is hard to draw, but this is called a rest. It's a rest. It's a 1 beat rest. It's a quarter rest. It's a ta rest. Rest, 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 rest. So do that with me, okay? What is it called? Good. Rest, 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 rest. It's just a rest. And now when we are playing these new notes, if we were to play a rest, we would just go rest, hands out, rest. We say and play it. Let's try it. Try it with me. Rest. Fantastic. Do it again. Rest. Excellent. Do it again. Rest. Good. Now, play that for me. I'm going to put it up here so you remember how do you do it? And rest. Let's do it together. Rest. One more time. Rest. Fantastic. Now, with the half note, here it is. What we would do is we would go ta. Now, do you remember with the ta, we just go ta, ta. But with the ta, it's 2 beats. Ta, we bring our hands out. Ta, because we have to hold it for an extra beat. Ta, we have 2 beats. We have to hold it for 2 beats. Ta, ta, do it with me. Ta, again. Ta, fantastic. So play it for me, please. Ready? Ta, again. Ta, one more time. Ta, again. Ta, fantastic. Excellent job. So I'm going to play for you some of these rhythms, the quarter note or the ta, the TT or the eighth note, the ta or half note, and the quarter rest, the rest. I'm going to play them. I'm going to take a measure and play a measure, and then I want you to repeat them, okay? So I'm going to play the measure very loudly, and then I'll play it with you very softly so you don't get confused. Okay, so let's try it. Ready? Ta, 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 ta. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, 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 ta, ti, 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 ta, rest, ta, ta, rest, rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, 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 rest. Ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. Ta, ta, rest. Do you like the rests? Everybody loves the rests. We love the rests. So let's try it again. I'm going to be even more quiet and I might not even play with you. Okay? because I think you can do this. I think you are so smart that you can do this without my help now. We tried it with my help. Let's do it without my help. I play first, then you play, okay? Ta, ti, ti, ta. Ti, 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 ta, ta. Ta, rest, ta. Ta, rest, ta, rest. Ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. Ta, rest, rest. Rest, 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 ta. Ti, ti, rest, ti, ti, rest. Ta, 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 ta. Ti, ti, ta, ta, rest. Rest, 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 ti, ti. Ti, 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 rest, rest. Fantastic. You are so smart. I love this. This is so fun. Are you having fun? We can make fun different ways of saying it but we keep the beat going no matter what. So let's now start with level 2, the first practice page, okay? Okay, so we're going to go to level 2 practice page, and we're going to start with A. The first line is A, and we're going to start with me playing the first measure, and then you play it back. I will do it quietly with you. I'll do it very loudly when I do it first, and then when it's your turn to do it with me, I'll do it quietly. Then I play the second measure loudly, and we play together the second measure. You be loud, I'll be quiet. I'm trying to get you to do this. Then the third measure I do loudly, and you play it loudly while I play it quietly. Fourth measure. So A, first measure, my turn first. 1, 2, ready, my turn. Ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, 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 rest, ta, ta. How did you do? Was that good? Let's try it again. I will do it with you again because these are new. But we do it, I do it once, and then you repeat with me doing it quietly. But you really say it out, okay? Each measure, one at a time. Look at the music, read the music. This is so that you need to be learning to read the music. You're listening to me and repeating, but you're also reading. So music is a language, and you're learning another language when you learn music. It's so good for your brain. This is so great. So let's try it. A again. My turn first. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, 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 rest, ta, ta. Fantastic. Let's do the whole level A, line A. Let's do it all together without stopping. Read the notes, okay? Do it with me. Read the notes. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta. How did you do? Let's do it one more time. A, 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta. Fantastic. Now I'm going to do it one time with you, but I'm going to do it quietly. We're going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do it quietly. You really say it out. A, one last time. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 rest. Ta, ta, rest. Ta, ta. How did you do? Fantastic. I'm so proud of you. Let's do B, okay? Do you think we could just do B the whole way through together? Do you think you're ready for that already? Maybe we should do it one at a time. One measure at a time to start. Okay, let's try that. One measure at a time. I want to get you going though. Keep reading the music. Let's see how quickly we can get you to be reading the whole line all the way through. Line B. 1, 2, my turn first. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. I bet you can do the whole thing with me. Let's try the whole of line B together, okay? I'll do it loudly, you do it loudly. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. How was it? I bet you did a really good job. Let's just in case you need to clean it up, let's fix it. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, B, go. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. Great. Now I'm going to do it very quietly while you do it really loudly, the whole of B. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. Fantastic. Let's go to C. Let's just read the whole thing together very loudly, both of us loudly. Okay? Don't scream. There's no need to scream, but just make sure you're really saying it. Say and play and read the notes. C, this is our first time through. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. How did you do? Let's do it again. Just clean it up. If you made any mistakes, we'll fix it this time through. C, 1, 2, together, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. Great. Let's do it one more time like that. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. Fantastic. Now let's do it very quiet. I'll do it very quietly and you do it very loudly. Okay, see how well you know it. C, 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta. How did you do? I bet you were fabulous. Let's try D. Let's do it, both of us together all the way through. Really say it out. Read the music, play and say. D, 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, 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 ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Rest, ta, rest, ta, 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 ta. Fantastic. D, one more time. 1, 2, say it out. Rest, 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 ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, rest, ta, 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 ta. Fantastic. Let's try it one more time. I'm going to do it very quietly. D, 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, rest, rest. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. Rest, ta, rest, ta, 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 ta. Great. Now I'm not going to do it at all until the last measure. So I'm going to see if you can do this with me. Keep this in time, keep the beat going, and let's see if we can be together on that last measure, okay? 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, ta. How did you do? Good for you. Now we're going to start from A and then go to B and then C and D. I will call out each line. So if somehow during one of the lines you aren't with us or you make a mistake, you can come in with us when I call out the next line. Okay? So let's try it. A, B, then C, then D. I'm going to do it loudly with you. A, 1, 2, together, play. Ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, B, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta, si, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta, D, rest, 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 ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, rest, ta, rest, ta, 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 ta. Fantastic. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to do it loudly with you the whole way through, and I'll call each line. A, 1, 2, together, play. Ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, B, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta, si, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, rest, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, ti, ti, rest, ta, D, rest, 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 ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, rest, ta, rest, ta, 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 ta. Fantastic. Excellent. So now we're going to go to the second page. But if you need to keep practicing page 1, just keep doing it. That's what we do as musicians. We practice, 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 practice. So do it over and over again if you need to. That's the way you get it done. That's how you learn. So congratulations, okay? We'll go to level 2. Bye. Hi, everyone. My name's DIANA JACKLIN. I'm an opera singer, song recitalist, and voice teacher, but I'm also offering some of this music education for musical foundations for you. So if you like this, please subscribe and like